Hello lovelies, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about Marlon Brando's shocking diet. Marlon Brando is the ultimate Hollywood bad guy and he's considered one of the greatest actors of all time. He's regarded as one of the most admired actors in film history and was described by Marilyn Monroe as the next sexiest man she had ever seen. And you can see an almost perfectly proportioned, sleek-looking, brilliant actor in his early films such as On the Waterfront in 1954, A Streetcar Named Desire in 1951, The Men in 1950, and Guys and Dolls in 1955. Marlon Brando's fans are generally aware that the actor became quite overweight in his final years. They thought that the 5'11" tall idol just gained 350 pounds because of old age. But what was the real reason for his weight gain? Generally, only a few are aware of Marlon Brando's bizarre eating habits. Marlon Brando's second wife once put a lock on the couple's refrigerator. Marlon Brando ended up smashing the lock with a crowbar on the refrigerator and ate a massive wheel of cheese because he was hangry at the time. But that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to grease. Another one of Marlon Brando's girlfriends forced him to go on a diet during the day, and then at night he had friends fling bags of Burger King and other fast food over the fence for him to eat. Marlon's girlfriend waited months and Marlon still wasn't losing weight. She then realized that Brando was sneaking out at 2 a.m. munching a good number of Whoppers and other fast food. Marlon Brando would sit on set between takes and eat entire roast chickens even before his weight gain, and he would wander off when he wasn't needed to go to find something to eat. It got to the point where studios had to send employees to physically bring him back to set because if they didn't, he'd gorge himself on fatty food and then pass out. One of his favorite things to do was also binge eat on ice cream. Marlon Brando was well aware that there was something special about ice cream. During the film Mutiny on the Bounty, he split 52 pairs of tight-fitting breeches due to ice cream in 1962. Brando would go out to the lake alone in a canoe, sometimes with a container of ice cream, in the middle of breakfast or lunch, or even when they were filming, and chat to the birds. Although Brando's odd eating habits and binges were peculiar, he had already developed unusual eating habits when he was a kid in Minnesota in the military academy. He would go on binges, slathering pieces of bread with peanut butter and gulping down a quart of milk. Despite this, he said that he converted fat to muscle through challenging exercise, climbing ropes without using his feet, and swimming for the swim team. Marlon Brando's diet consisted mainly of junk food, takeout, and peanut butter, which he ingested by the jarful. Brando was also known for eating boxes of Mallomars and cinnamon buns and washing them down with a quart of milk by the mid-1950s. He used to go on crash diets in the 50s and 60s, but he would binge. He lived on raw veggies and would jog down the beach for the film Sayonara, only to be found one morning devouring a breakfast of cornflakes with bananas and cream, scrambled eggs, sausages and bacon, and a giant stack of pancakes drenched in butter and maple syrup. According to Brando's co-star Carl Malden, Marlon Brando would have potatoes, 2 steaks, 2 apple pies a la mode, and a whole quart of milk for dinner while filming One-Eyed Jacks. Because of his diet, he had to change his clothes regularly. The staff handed Marlon a cowboy belt as a present for his birthday party that year with the note, "Hope it fits." And Marlon Brando's body double had to be employed in long shots on the set of the film Appaloosa in 1966 since Marlon had eaten one of his lunches. Marlon would devour 2 chickens in a whole sitting and bags of Pepperidge Farm cookies while joking about the added poundage. Marlon Brando's second wife, Movita, also mentioned how he frequently drove down to hot dog shops late at night. He would pay a visit to one of his favorite hot dog stalls. Conveniently, the stall was open 24 hours a day. And Brando would go out at 3 or 4 a.m. and devour half a dozen hot dogs at a time until morning. During the filming of Missouri Breaks in 1976, it was alleged that the ecologically conscious Marlon Brando plucked a frog out of a pond and devoured the unfortunate amphibian, then dropped it back into the water. At this point, people were generally concerned about his eating habits because it was already strange to begin with, but it was even more strange to take a frog out of a pond to devour it. Later in the 1980s, Marlon was frequently seen buying 5-gallon containers of ice cream from a Beverly Hills ice cream parlor. He also admitted to eating it by himself and mixed it with a pound of fried bacon stuffed with an entire loaf of bread. Suppose you're wondering how Marlon Brando avoided being fired or smacked in the face for his actions and constant weight gain. In that case, it's because he was such a talented actor. Marlon Brando was one of Hollywood's most sought-after men in the 1960s, and you can guarantee he took advantage of his celebrity status. When Marlon Brando wasn't having any ham during the Mutiny on the Bounty production, he spent his time being a gigantic dick if he didn't have any food. Brando would be late every day, refuse to say the words handed to him, and then demanded rewrites in the middle of the scenes. When rewrites were not possible, Marlon Brando would simply make up his lines. This is more amusing given Brando's aversion to memorizing lines. He preferred instead to have them scribbled on cue cards, or in certain circumstances he had other actors in the scene. When the director inquired what he could do to make Brando do his job, the actor paused for a bit before asking if the filmmaker could connect the lines. But there's a catch. Connect the cables to a nude ass of an actress he was attracted to, and then shake that ass with some food. Also, when Marlon Brando was cast as Jor-El in Superman, he told the director that his part should have been played by a large green CGI bagel. A request that was only granted after the director personally pleaded to Marlon Brando, explaining that the Superman's father was never a bagel in the comics. Marlon Brando's relationship with food was a very interesting one. When he turned 80, he did not make a last-ditch attempt to lose weight by going on a bland diet near the end of his life, and he was clearly in danger due to his overeating. He lost 70 pounds at one point and drastically reduced his eating habits by maintaining a very simple and plain diet. However, his overeating habits and repeated crash diets had already seriously harmed his heart, liver, and body in general. So I've read several biographies on Marlon Brando, and I think he's an incredible actor. He's incredibly talented, but he was definitely very rebellious. He would refuse to go to a few Oscars and accept the award. And I read that he was also really interested in improvisation on set. Instead of actually memorizing his lines, he would like to improvise them. And I think he's very talented and will always be remembered as one of the greatest actors of the 20th century. That being said, it's definitely interesting to see his habits. It definitely reminds me of Elvis's diet in many ways. I think they both kind of gore, especially towards the later years of their life. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and let me know whose diet you want me to do next. Also, don't forget to check out my YouTube membership and subscribe to my channel. So with this membership, you get one bonus video a month. It's behind the scenes. And you also get a bonus monthly live stream, which is a Q&A and a Redbird vintage unboxing. And you get 20% off Vintage Doll Cosmetics, my vintage inspired beauty brand. So I hope to see you there. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.